That's actually water. It's not even coffee, but I just did that for the intro. Definitely do love coffee. But for this video, we are talking about organization for video production. And I think there's gonna be some unique things just about how I go about it that I think are very useful and hopefully you could find useful. And I'm also gonna be talking about a free app that you can download that really helps with organization. And this app was specifically made for video production. And specifically organization you do like on your hard drive, not organization that you do inside the actual editing application. It's organization on your hard drive to keep things organized. So maybe you're transferring a bunch of footage from your camera, or you're creating like a new After Effects project, or you're buying stock images. Where do you actually put all those? How do you get the right folder structures? And it's really important. It makes the whole process afterwards a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier as well when you go back in the future, if you want to go back and access a past project. Maybe a client calls you up and wants you to work on something, or maybe you're transferring a project and all the footage to a different hard drive and you want to make sure everything is all consolidated in one place. And also another reason actually it makes everything kind of nice is that when you're setting up a new project, there's not like all this guesswork that you have to go through of like, okay, where should I put this certain piece of footage? What should I call this folder? Every time you set up a new project, if you have this protocol in place, it just makes it that much faster, and it removes all the guesswork. So every new project, you know exactly what you're doing. So that's really kind of the first main point of this video. And then the other thing is, how do you actually do this? And there's actually an awesome app that's completely free to download. It's called Post Haste by Digital Rebellion. And it pretty much generates, you can create custom templates using this app, and it's a very customizable app. You can customize like absolutely everything, but the end goal and the end result of using this app is that it creates folder templates. It does it very quickly because once you have the template, it's just a click of a button and the folder structure is created for you. And then the other big plus of using Post Haste is that once you have the templates again, you're kind of forced to stay consistent because you're not kind of manually creating those folders every time. You're just using the templates, so it's kind of forces you to actually be consistent. So it's really good for those two reasons. I can also actually go into really quickly here of the folder structure that I actually came up with. So I have a bunch of different templates, again, for footage dumps or for creating a new project. So let's just take a look at one of my templates and just see how I organize it, and maybe you can take away this for yourself. If you want to completely copy this for yourself and use the exact same template, go for it. But let's dive in here and I'll just quickly go through one of my templates. Okay, so this is Post Haste here. These are the templates, and this is my project template. So again, don't get lost with Post Haste here. Again, this is not meant to be a tutorial on how to use Post Haste, although it is pretty simple. Just kind of pay attention to the folder structure here. So if I select project, and then I just put in the right date and I give it a name, and I create that, and I pick my desktop here, save. I'll just overwrite that, okay. So it just created this folder for me. And as you can see, this is the folder structure it created. So this folder structure is based on a template that I created. And so this is my structure for every time I start a new project in Final Cut. So I have resources. Resources, I put, again, any kind of Word docs or editing notes, or say you're doing a project for a client and they give you kind of marketing materials. Anything like that that's kind of just information that supports the project but is not a direct asset that you're using in the project, I'll put in resources. Audio is just audio, so pretty much anything that is not the audio that was recorded for the video. So if I download stock audio from online or something, that's where I put audio, or music tracks, stuff like that. Extra footage is footage that supports the project that you're going to use in your timeline, in your edit, that was not shot specifically for this project. So that would be things like stock footage, or maybe you're pulling footage from a different project to use in this project. That goes into the extra footage folder. And so I'm basically careful not to mix up extra footage in the same folder as like the raw footage that was shot specifically for that project. Graphic assets is where, you know, anything that pretty much goes into a Final Cut or anything into an After Effects project, you know, images, anything that kind of supports your edit or your After Effects projects that is not the actual video footage. Graphics projects is where I put my After Effects projects pretty much. Graphic exports is everything that I export from After Effects. Export XMLs, these are pretty much XMLs that you export from your editing app. I pretty much do that for backups, or if I'm bringing it into DaVinci for like color correction, I'll export an XML and I'll put it in that folder for that. Color projects, I have a folder specifically for color. I do a lot of coloring in DaVinci Resolve, so I'll actually, you know, do a whole round trip workflow for where I go from Final Cut to DaVinci. So color projects is where I put my DaVinci projects pretty much. Color exports is the exports from DaVinci. And then final exports is where I put my final videos, so my final edits. That's where I put in final exports. So that's a really quick run through of a folder structure that I use when I'm starting a new project. I didn't really go into the whole kind of theory behind why I do it that way, but if you want to take that template and run with it, go for it. I find that works really well for the work that I do. And so that pretty much covers this video. I've honestly shot this video too many times, and like the video that I'm doing right now. And I've just kept trying to simplify and simplify and simplify because I feel like I'm just ranting and dragging on too long. So if this seemed too simple, I'm sorry, but if you take anything away, take away post-haste, and then just the concept of being consistent in your organization, I think is really key. So yeah, go download post-haste. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.